This is a lazy time of the year. There's this nice, lovely, cold nip in the air, and you guys and girls might feel a bit lazy. Wednesday afternoon, no midweek blues on Cricbuzz Live because we've got two very bright and happy personalities on Cricbuzz Live to talk about the second ODI. India lead 1-0. The Indian team perhaps flew about 600 kilometers to the left, to the west, and they're now in Raipur, in the heart of India, a city that's known for jalebis and something else as well. Lots of sweets, sir. Which you are off.
I'm off. I'm off sweet. This is not the season to talk about sweets. You know, everybody's just recovered from Diwali parties. And now you want them to eat more sweets, not a good idea.
We'll have some sweet conversations here on Cricbuzz Live. But 1-0, India looked like the dominant force that it has been for the last 3 years, Zach. Has to be a reason why India are where they are. Safe to say that the seeds of that were sown way back in 2008 when the IPL started. Is that what's contributing to India having a certain pool?
I think white ball dominance and consistency you've seen for the longest time. So if at all, IPL has only taken it to the next level, in terms of the talent pool which has been created. But as a playing 11, you always had that impact on this format. ODIs, white ball is something which India has been very consistent with. But I think when you look at this series, you did speak about the loss in the test matches, how it's going to affect. Clearly, it shows that when you're talking about white ball cricket, that dominance, that consistency, that confidence, belief, all those aspects are very evident from the first game. Yes, there were some lessons which they've carried forward, but on the whole, I think India started as favourites. And even in this game today, which is about to start, they will look to close the series in this game.
Yep, the next one is in Visakhapatnam and they'll hope to clinch the series here. Now, in the last 3 years, since the start of 2023, Joy, India has played 50 ODIs and they've won 74% of those matches. This is a staggering record.
It is a staggering record. And if you look at it, and there are 2 more matches which were tied or, no result, that means that they've lost only 11. And that's a crazy, crazy number because, the percentage of the way India has played this format is incredible. And what is interesting about it is that if you look back at the last really dominant thing, it was the Australians in the early 2000s onwards when they won 2 World Cups, in fact, 3 World Cups in a row. And that was the last really dominant force. But that dominant force, if you look at it, there was a pool of about 14 or 15 players who played most of the matches in that period.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Magra, Warne, Gilchrist, Ponting, they were there almost all the time. What is happening with this Indian team, thanks to the amount of cricket that's being played, they are getting this result with the team changing so much. I mean, if you look at it, even the last ODI that we played in Australia, the number of players who have played who are not present here today, Bumrah is not there, the bowling has changed completely, Varun Chakravarti is not there, because there are so many demands on India. And yet to maintain this consistency, that is what I find so amazing. Because remember, when Australia was dominant, there was no IPL, there was nothing. This was the game. 50-over cricket was the game. And now 50-over cricket is like an afterthought. We are playing for the World Cup. And look at the consistency we've got while shuffling the lineup all the time.
Safe to say that while there have been questions mark on the future of this format, is it safe to say that India is keeping this format alive? If India said we don't want to play this format, then it would be difficult, right? Commercially as well.
Commercially, definitely. I mean, nobody else. So Sri Lanka has played some 62 odd ODIs also in this period. But yeah, I would say that India, the World Cup, I think is also a very important factor because, the 20-over World Cup is every 2 years. So it has value. But because it's every once in 4 years, the 50-over World Cup seems to have a larger value. It seems to have a larger cachet still. For us, it's still more memorable. And I think that's what's also very helping keeping it alive.
Also, the fact that India is taking one-day cricket to different parts of the country, smaller centres, and you can expect a big crowd to watch those 2 titans in action who are in full swing. Yet again, some things don't change. India have lost the toss, the 20th in a row. And I believe KL Rahul has been practicing. It's not working.
Yeah, we remember we spoke about it. So now the odds of the run that India has is over 1 million.
Wow.
Over 1 million. The odds of losing a toss 20 times in a row is exactly, let me tell you, I know this, 1048, that means 1,048,576. 1048,576. That's the odds.
It must have become a joke in the team by now, no?
Well, as long as you're winning games, it doesn't matter. Isn't it? I think
see, that's the most amazing thing. With this toss, with this kind of toss, they're still winning. They're losing every time. They're bowling in due every time, and they're still winning.
Lose the toss, win the game. That'll make KL Rahul happy. Now, I just quickly read a snapshot of the pitch report that Deepdas Gupta and Sean Pollock did. By the way, Mr. Pollock will be in the studio very soon. They said it's a two-pace surface, dry on one end, then cracks on the other. What's a good pitch, Zach? Every time I ask a batter is different, but I need to know a bowler's perspective. What's a good pitch in one-day cricket?
any pitch which makes a batter's life difficult is a good pitch. So the fact that they're mentioning that it's a two-paced nature of the pitch, which we've seen in the past as well, which makes it tough for the batter. When you say that a batter is set or he's in the zone, what are you talking about? You basically have just the pace of the pitch. So on a good pitch, on a flat surface, that is very consistent. The more consistent it is, it's easier for batter to gauge and get in positions or hit through the line. And when you're hitting through the line, it becomes that much difficult for a bowler to get that length and line spot on. So the margin of error becomes less, which makes it tough for the bowlers. But when the nature of the pitch is two-paced, so even if the ball is there to drive, as a batter, you're not sure because some balls come at a faster pace and some ball just kind of stuck, so which can result into that uppish drive. So you've seen on these kind of pitches, the wickets which are in regions of say cover, mid wicket, or someone trying to flick the ball, goes top edge because the ball didn't come on, you already gone through with the shot. Those kind of dismissals come into play, and that creates doubt in batter's mind, which makes it tough for him to be assured of putting bowlers under pressure.
In your playing days, did you go to the pitch side and spend a lot of time try to read it, or did you say I'll just turn up and?
No, I did. I think and just because you got to be aware and try and learn more and more things. So I always had that kind of lookout. So I would ask the curators also, what you've done, how you're preparing the pitch. Maybe just the Mumbai's club cricket days taught me that you should be aware about all these small little things for you to do a little bit of adjustment, because it's important for bowlers also to know if the pitch is damp, you got to back yourself to go fuller. Because that's where you're going to result and get maximum out of the pitch. If the pitch is really flat, hard right from the word go, that means even with the new ball, you got to be looking to hit the deck. These small little adjustments you're talking about, 1 meter fuller, 1 meter shorter, that's the gauge usually you have. But it just gives you that edge of starting with percentage being in your favor and then let the game unfold.
Right, some tweaks to the South African lineup, but we'll tell you about India. No changes, thankfully. And why would they? Because everything went well. And Ruturaj Gaikwad, once again, will get another go. Washington Sundar is there as well. We've got to talk about that man in that number 4 spot. Ruturaj Gaikwad clearly will bat there once again. Joy, it's good that he's being rewarded for his staggering numbers in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. Career record, 50 games, 13 hundreds. Close to 3,000 runs. Take a look at that. So it's good that he's being given this opportunity. It allows players to say, if I score runs, I will get picked eventually.
I think it's fantastic. And here's what I have to say. My point is that there are lots of people who are rightfully saying, it's not that it's wrong, rightfully saying that Ruturaj has spent his entire career as an opener.
Yep.
All the runs he's made for Maharashtra as an opener, all the runs he's made for CSK as an opener, that's his spot. In white ball cricket, he's an opener. But if you go and ask Ruturaj Gaikwad that will you play for India? If you have a chance to play for India, will you bat at 4? He'd say, I'd bat at 11 if I get a chance to play in the 11th. Yeah. Absolutely. So yes, he is batting out of position, but I appreciate the fact that they have rewarded serious consistency, because if you look at Vijay Hazare numbers, Ruturaj Gaikwad is a Bradman of Vijay Hazare cricket. Every year he gets runs. He's the most consistent batter you'll see across the board. And Maharashtra is not a fancy team, it's not a Mumbai or this thing who's continuously winning. So he has been the bulwark for a very long time and he's being rewarded. I'm really happy for that.
Is it tough for someone who's opened all the time to come in and play top level cricket in the middle order? He knows that once Shreyas comes back in, I'm sure he'll find his way back in. He's here because Shreyas isn't there, I suppose. So how does a player look at that?
Well, make use of the opportunity. That's how a player looks at different situations. Bottom line is how you're going to cement your place. Someone might be taking that spot and performing consistently, which is shares in this case. But when Ruturaj is getting this opportunity, he will be looking at, okay, can I be consistent? Can I be scoring big runs and then push the guy who's been at this spot? That's the way it goes. I think, the top order batsman batting in the middle order, there is that slight bit of adjustment. The game moves differently. You have the power play advantage. You can just look to time the ball if you're opening the innings. But in the middle overs, you actually have to go according to what situation you walk in. Sometimes you are two down and you're walking in the power play. Sometimes you're walking in when the ball is softer, spinners are bowling, you have attacking fielders in the single saving position, and the fielders on the boundary line outside of the circle, so which makes it difficult to score those boundaries. Changes the tempo of how you build your innings, and that's the adjustment. We've seen KL Rahul also do that when he's batted at number 6. So at number 4, that slight bit of adjustment will be required from Ruturaj. But it's not that he is not batted at that number.
Sure.
He's batted in IPL also at that number. He's batted in domestic also at that number. So I think he should be able to do that.
South Africa have made 3 changes to their lineup. We expected to, but they made 3. Ngidi comes in as well. Temba Bavuma comes in for Ryan Rickleton. Keshav Maharaj had to be brought in, and Ngidi has also come in. So along expected lines, Joy.
Absolutely. I mean, Ngidi, we were surprised that he didn't play the last match, but if you said even the last match, we were very sure Bavuma would come back in place of one of the 2, wicket-keeper batters. And we were sure that definitely Keshav Maharaj will get a go in. So I think this is totally along expected lines, and it also means that they're taking this very seriously. They want to win this very, very much.
Rickleton goes out instead of de Kock. So you think they're looking at experience of Quinton de Kock to stay? Because, I mean, both didn't score runs in that last game, so...
Yeah, for sure. And I think, both Rickleton and Quinton de Kock, they're very similar style of players.
Yeah.
If you see, if you have to analyze their batting and as a bowler, you got to target their weak zones are also pretty much similar.
Yeah.
We did touch upon the fact that, if Temba Bavuma is coming back, at what position he'll be batting. So if he's batting at number 3, Quinton de Kock, it's not an ideal position for him to bat at number 3. If Quinny is playing in the side, he has to open the innings, and I think that's the call which they've made, and experience for sure must be one of the factors.
Right, South Africa have won the toss, and because dew will be a factor, they say they've chosen to chase in this game once again. Last game, 349 for India. The bowlers struggled. They made changes to their bowling lineup. In comes Keshav Maharaj and Lungi Ngidi. But we've got to talk about Nandre Burger. Zach, he used that off-cutter a lot. That's becoming a staple for pace bowlers in modern-day white ball cricket, right?
Well, variations have always been important. You got to use it according to the situation, according to the conditions.
Yep.
Especially you've seen if you're bowling first in Indian conditions. You will have that liberty of using the slower ones, percentage bit on the higher side. There is no doubt about that. If there is a dew in the second half of the innings, which we've seen in the first game, that can cause problems. And at that stage, you got to be smart enough to kind of take that percentage down. But yes, the variations you've seen, and the data will always back that, that the number of slower one deliveries bowled by bowlers in white ball format, that has a lot of weightage in terms of if you're just looking to restrict the batters or you're looking to take wickets as well.
Hitting the right length seems to be the mantra for all top-level bowlers, and that's what they look for. Let's take a look at Nandre Burger's pitch map. Zach, it all looks very well on this graphic and when you execute it, but tell us about the hard work that goes into doing this consistently. I'm sure it's much tougher than it seems on the outside on television.
Well, we often speak about keeping things simple, isn't it? On various levels. And I think also with the phases of the game. So if you're looking at just the new ball phase, and then you've seen that difference with Harshit Rana as well. There are enough examples for your style of bowling or your adaptability to bowling with the new ball. You got to back yourself to be brave and get the ball fuller, allowing the ball to swing. The seam is hard and nice and prominent. The shine is prominent, so you can actually take advantage of that. And you've seen bowlers consistently do that. You've seen specialist bowlers also with that regard. Certain bowlers have a lot of edge when they bowl with the new ball, and then if you're not able to hit the deck hard later as the ball gets older, then you can be fish for plenty. So I think that's one of the reasons you'll see the pitch map and the wicket also, which has come off the good length, which is a bowler backing himself, knowing that okay, this is my phase. I should be looking to take the wickets and back myself to go fuller.
On that day, yeah, sorry.
No, I was just saying, I find Nandre a very interesting personality. He's a psychology major, okay?
Oh.
And the interesting part about it is he got into college on the sports quota, okay, on the cricket quota, but he wanted to study basically. So he got in, typically jo India mein hota hai, got into university and then you start playing the game casually, you're not serious. And then his coach told him, what's wrong with you? Are you mad? You can actually play good cricket. So he said, no, I played cricket just to get into the university. And his coach went after him and he said, you're bowling at 125 now, I bet you can bowl at 135, 140.
Wow.
And then he turned around, started bowling, and then after a few years, he's playing for it. And not only that, he plays his first match, the second ODI he's playing, takes 3 wickets against India. By that time, he's already picked up by Rajasthan.
At times, you need someone around you to tell you that you're good, and you need that nudge in the right direction. Happened to you as well? And who was that person?
Either it happened that way or it's just destiny, because I'm a big believer in destiny.
Yeah.
Finished my college and stuff like that. I also started playing very late. I started when I was 18, pretty much, focused on studies.
Yeah.
And
good.
And this is pre-IPL days. Yeah, so obviously, you didn't have many options. So you have to kind of make sure that the focus is given enough on the studies as well. You can't just go look to be a professional cricketer in those days. So yeah, I took my chances. I think it worked out. Sudhir Naik sir, that time in Mumbai, I landed in Cross Maidan somehow and started my club cricket journey from there. So yeah, I think someone needs to sometimes, even though you knew and you wanted to work hard enough, but there are enough people who are working hard. Yeah. So I think that break, that crucial win of a certain situation is very important. To me, that was the first year when I got selected for the Ranji Trophy team. Didn't play, but the first year itself I got picked, which gave me enough confidence to kind of say that, hey, I just come from Raipur, which is a place doesn't even have a tough pitch. I've come here, tried my luck here, and in the first year has gotten me this far. So let me take the punt, and I just kind of took cricket seriously that time.
Wow, thank God it panned out the way it did, and we got an absolute world champion in Zaheer Khan. There's another young player who's going through his own tribulation, sadly, on social media. Harshit Rana bowled really well in that last game, but Joy, looks like mentally this guy is tough. He said, I'm going to ignore the trolls, and that's the only way to react to that kind of venom on social media.
No, absolutely. And I think he's doing it very well because, I mean, he's a very, very self-willed young man. Remember one thing, that this kid is not a kid who's got it easy. He comes from Gewara, which is right at the border of Haryana and Delhi. And the thing about him is that he had to travel to Kirtanagar to play. Never made it under 12, under 14, under 16, played no age group at all. Okay? He was injured, plus, Delhi cricket is not the easiest to get into. It has its own politics, its own people. So the interesting thing about it is, how does his fate change? Rasik Dar Salam gets injured for KKR. Okay? Nitish Rana knows of this young kid who's burly and strong and says, let's call him in. And so he's called in. He comes in, he comes to KKR, catches Gautam Gambhir's eye. Then, so he's played for senior Delhi after he's played for KKR.
Wow. He showed a lot of variety in that last game. We've seen numerous examples of young bowlers having a lot of skill. They have a lot of weapons in their arsenal, but sometimes they go wrong in figuring how much to use and how much not to use. What's the best approach for a young bowler?
Look, when you're looking at Harshit Rana and you kind of specifically talking about him, you don't have to go that far. Australia series, which was just a previous series which Indian team played, you were talking about his length has to be touch fuller. He was just maybe a meter and a half short, and which was not resulting in having a very good impact on the game or his bowling. What he's altered right now in the previous spell, what you've seen, which should give him a lot of confidence, is that the length with the new ball, he has been fuller. That alteration has definitely helped him to get that kind of impact with the new ball. When there is dew around, you got to be more aware about the game. The situational awareness, maybe, it's something which you develop as you move along in your career and play many games. You got to just get the percentage higher and whatever things is working on that particular day in your favor. So a lot of dew around, slower ones, is that an option? It's going to come on to the bat nicely if you bowl on the length. If you are deciding to bowl that, then maybe bowling the shorter pitch slower ones, which Arshdeep did, was with good effect. So those kind of finer adjustment and understanding the situations and deciding that, okay, this is what it is. It's a game IQ which keeps building as you move along in your career. Those are things for Harshit to take forward in his career.
Is it tough to resist that temptation, saying, "Yaar, ye bhi try kar leta hoon"? I'm sure that happens to young bowlers.
See, because it has worked for you, right? Like when you're looking at Harshit, you're often talking about, oh, he's got a brilliant slow one. That has given him a lot of good results as well, resulting in wickets. Pretty much the consistency is higher. So what happens when you're under pressure? Your first instinct is to go to something which has worked in the past. So if you add a layer of, okay, what is the condition today? Is the condition favorable for this kind of a delivery? Then it comes naturally for you to back that delivery. But on the days when it's not coming, then you got to understand that, okay, what is the delivery which is apt for the condition, and can I bowl that? The bowlers at times get caught up with the formats. Because you have to bowl the slower one, you have to, you're playing this format, so you have to bowl the slower one, so you're going and overdoing it at times. So it's just about awareness. I mean, there is no like a written rule which is going to help you achieve it. It's just the instinct, maybe a message from outside coming in and saying that, okay, you can try this or stay away from this particular delivery today. These are the small little things which work nice.
You would have been witness to a lot of conversations between Wasim Akram and young bowlers at KKR. Did you see him talk about bowling intelligence as well?
Yeah, of course. He's, I mean, both with Jaydev, with Shami and all, he always talks about it. And he said something very interesting. I remember once saying, he says, variations बोलते हैं क्योंकि कभी-कभी करते हैं. हर बार करोगे तो वो variation नहीं होता है ना. So that is the problem that bowlers have. He says it's a variation. I mean, when do you trick the bat? Because the batter expects a particular type of delivery, then I give a variation. If her ball mera variation hai, where is this thing for the batter? No? So I mean, that is one thing that he's very clear about. And see, that's the thing that, great bowlers like Zach and Wasim, in many ways it's a complex game, but they simplify their game and yet there's complexity within it, It's a difficult thing to this thing, but they see the game very simply. The clarity of thought, great bowlers see it very simply. And, Vaz was exactly the same, Zach is exactly the same. They see it in a particular way.
2 years to go for that ODI World Cup in South Africa. India's best 11 will obviously have Bumrah and Siraj as your 1 and 2 pace bowlers. Is Harshit Rana that sure shot number 3 on current form or ability?
Well, I'll say Harshit as well, Arshdeep as well. Arshdeep is someone, who's been very consistent. The left arm also, that angle works nicely. And what I've been impressed with his approach to bowling is that pressure situations, he seems calm. He seems assured. He's getting better and better at it, knowing exactly how to back himself, which delivery to back, whether it goes for runs or not go for runs. So I think when you're looking at the big tournament, which is down the road, couple of years, I think Bumrah, yes. Harshit, for sure, is going to be in the mix. Prasidh is also going to be in the mix. Siraj, why not Shami? I think Shami is also going to make his case strong. So you got this pool of bowlers, and you need to just give those opportunities and have very clear mind in terms of how you're going to stack up those 50 overs.
Yeah.
Like right now, if you see Harshit now, when he's bowling one change, was a different bowler to when he's bowling with the new ball.
Yeah.
But now when you're putting, say, for example, Harshit, Bumrah and Arshdeep coming together, then maybe Bumrah has to move away from his role of being attacking with the new ball and do that job in the middle. So these are the complexities which you will be facing. But right now, what Indian team is looking for is very simple. Who is going to be that one change bowler? Who's going to make that impact? Because you've tried Harshit there. It's not really worked exactly how you wanted it to be in terms of consistency and impact. You're trying Prasidh there now. You've tried Siraj also, but Siraj effectiveness also comes with the new ball. So the real call is going to be that, okay, 3 bowlers, not just about picking 3 bowlers, but also kind of understanding their strengths and how you're going to utilize their services in creating maximum impact for the team.
It's a great problem to have for India with so many options available for the selectors and the coach and the captain. There's another man who's been a luxury for India, especially in white ball cricket over the last few years now. Since 2023, this man, Rohit Sharma, has most runs in the first 10 overs. Take a look at that. An average of 68, solid strike rate as well. Joy, have you noticed a slight tweak in his approach since that Australia tour? He's still scoring runs. Have you noticed a tweak in his approach?
See, I'll say 2 things. One is there was a definite tweak in his approach after 2022 T20 World Cup, after we lost.
Yep.
He completely said, I will be the destroyer up front. I'm not going to be careful. I will be a destroyer. And that year he led by example, that entire 2023 World Cup. I think now if he's looking at it and if he looks at the batting order now and he's seeing that there's Virat himself, Yashasvi up front, but there's not that much experience. The next experienced batter is Rahul at 6. Okay. You're then looking at Rituraj who's playing out of position. You're saying maybe Washington Sundar is there. These are good batters, but they're not experienced. The next really experienced batter is Rahul at 6. So I think as of now, given the circumstances, he's playing a bit within himself.
Yeah.
But I think he has the ability to play within himself and also score a mountain of runs. And that's the thing. Again, the last match, it's very difficult to call because remember, Yashasvi gets out early and Virat dominates the strike.
Hardly got strike rate in that last.
Virat dominated the strike. True. So you created a situation where anyway he was not getting that much of it,
Yeah. What's the most dangerous version of Rohit? The guy who stays longer, or do you want to see him just blitz away right from ball 1?
Well, with any good batter, if he stays longer there at the crease, he's going to do more damage. As simple as that. You can't score runs sitting in the dressing room. So I think Rohit out there, if he's setting himself to go for those big three figures, then it's always going to be detrimental for any opposition.
Right. Rohit and Virat have been the flavour of the season, and for good reason, because they've been scoring a lot of runs in Australia as well. In that last game, they were India's top 2 scorers. Now, India's batting order warrants a conversation. Sundar batting where he is. Are you okay with that? Would you rearrange the pieces at all, Zach? At 5, Sundar?
You can always rearrange the pieces, but but I think looking at this, it has become a norm. So so it's also like, look, whoever is handling the team, what kind of processes they're following, what kind of communication they're following is something which you got to just back it, right?
Yeah.
So you will see Washi as a floater because we've seen Aksar do that job. Today Keshav Maharaj is playing. Last game Keshav Maharaj was not there, and yet you've seen that. So I think with Keshav Maharaj coming in, for sure it gives you more option of using a left-hander in the middle. Rituraj is a very good player of spin. So obviously he will stay at that number.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Washi being pushed up the order is same batting order is what we're expecting from the previous.
And since Keshav Maharaj has come in to counter him, I suppose Washi at 5 also makes sense. Yeah. It's a slightly different, in fact, a much different challenge for the Indian batters because Lungi Ngidi has come in. So India, perhaps you expect them to be a little more cautious or just play a natural game because much better bowling lineup this.
Well, the bowling lineup is something which Indian team will take note of, but I don't think they're going to change their style of play too much. Yeah. They'll still approach the way they've been approaching the first 10 overs and then look to take the game on from there. I think what is going to be important is the top 4. One of them needs to score a big 100. That's going to be pretty much the template which you have to set, and especially what Joyda was making a very nice point that there is that inexperience. So in ODI format, you've seen every time you scored big runs, there's either 1 or 2 batters going on to score a big total. In a T20 format, it's different, isn't it? Like you just emphasis on strike rate, and you'll see a lot of 30s, but yet team going past 200. But in ODI format, if a team has to go past 300, you need someone to score that one big 100, or you need that 150-run partnership. That's been the template. So top four, one of them putting hand up and saying, okay, today is my day, I'm going to make it count and score that big 100, is going to help team pass that above par total.
Should be a much better contest with South Africa fielding a much better bowling lineup, possibly a couple of overs from Aiden Markram as well. Just enough time, Joy, to go to Joy Factor for the day.
Okay, let's take a look. So, he's taken 6 wickets in his entire test career. And 3 of them were part of a hat-trick. Who's this?
Oh.
One is...
This is Googleable, no?
It's not that easy to... I think it's AI-able, yeah. You put it in this thing, you'll probably get it on AI. But I thought it's a fascinating point that I've rarely seen a situation where a guy has a hat-trick and yet he's played. It's like Karun Nair's record, one big triple century and then, nothing else of that level.
All right, crack it if you can and send it to us on Twitter. Make sure you tag Joy and Zach and Cricbuzz, and we'll have one winner at the end of the day. That's it for now. Enjoy the first innings. We'll see you on Cricbuzz Combox. But before that, predictions. First innings. Ooh. Patchy wicket.
Yeah,
toothpaste wicket.
I'm going with 285.
I was going somewhere around that number, so I'll go a bit lower. I'll go 266, and I'll tell you why. So then the coverage is higher because it's 10 runs for ODIs.
Okay, the 275.
Look, even the previous game, the data was suggesting some other number, right?
Correct.
It was.
It went over.
Yeah, it went over. And
all right, we'll see what happens and join us again. I said 275, so lock that as well. And we'll see you on Cricbuzz Combox after 15. Bye-bye.